And into the top 10 we go. How exciting that we've reached the top 10. And in it, we're going to stay in Galaxy.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
We still have a couple more songs from the Galaxy games to go even after this one. But for this particular one, this one just made the cut. And man, this is like such a gentle theme, but so pretty at the same time. And it is Comet Observatory.
I have this one very high up on my list.
I'm gonna go pee. You talk about this song.
Okay.
This is your number 2, so you might as well go first.
Yeah, I mean, I love Comet Observatory as a hub world in Galaxy. I would spend hours running around this observatory, going and talking to Rosalina, finding the baby Lumas, going to the library for her storybook, which also has its own theme that I really enjoy. I love this song. It's like a waltz, and it's just lovely. It matches her character and this little world that they've put together, this home for everyone. It's just so nice. And the full orchestra, they just really put it to good use here. And there's different versions of it. I think I specified version 3 on mine because it's the most like the biggest and most like grandiose one.
Which is this one. Both you and Shaun voted for it specifically.
Nice, yeah.
I just had the whole thing. But yeah, you're right. It's another one of those tracks that builds. So as you're turning back on the observatory over time and you're, getting enough stars to power things back up, the music builds. And just like, Low Rule Castle and other examples we've had in previous lists, that's my kind of shit. I love that when the music reflects progress. And this one still manages to be gentle and kind. Like you said, it represents Rosalina. But as you continue to power stuff up, this gets more bombastic as you go. And by the way, it's nice to have a hub where the music is gentle and calm overall, because Mario gets kind of fucked up in this world. He drowns a lot, which isn't exclusive to this, but he's getting sucked into black holes. He sometimes just gets killed for not doing, challenges. You go to get a purple comet, the robot at the end's like, oh, sorry, you only got 99 of 100, and he fucking kills you. So it's nice to be able to come back here and be like, ah.
Yeah. Yeah, this song is better than it had any right to be, kind of, because it is just like the overworld theme. They they didn't have to make it like a ballroom dance in space, which I love. And it makes you think like, oh, maybe there's something between this Mario and Rosalina. Maybe we ditch Princess Peach. She is not, it's becoming stalkerish at this point. She doesn't want you. She's made it clear. Maybe there's a romantic avenue with Rosalina.
I mean, I would ship it.
And then you have this song. It's like, oh, this is so nice. They're going to get, it's like Beauty and the Beast. They're going to go.
And their first dance at their wedding. And
yeah.
Now, the only question in that ship is how big is Rosalina, because it's never entirely clear. Sometimes she's like 5 times Mario's size. Sometimes she's his size. We don't know.
I like to think she can actually change her, mass. That's a power that she has.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Has mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mario
True.
is supposed to be 5'10", and she towers over him, so...
Yeah, but then they're like, well, we need to put her in Mario Kart, so we better make her around the same size as everybody else, or that ain't going to make any sense.
Yeah, right.
And then she's a heavy character, and you're like, why? It's like, well, because she's got, space gravity, and she can grow in size. You're like, oh, okay, that makes more sense, because you can't go calling a woman heavy, but in Mario Kart, she is.
Yeah. I just like the idea of her also being just like an 8-foot towering space mom for everyone.
Well, but that means she can control mass and density, which is
Yeah.
cool. And we have gone completely just off the rails on this.
Yeah.
I will just say this is another song that I would love to see perform live. I think it really
Yes.
demonstrates the orchestra very well.
This is one that I might get a little teary-eyed for. There's a couple.
This
is
would
one,
definitely do it.
because you hear it so much that I'm like, yep, that just feels like home to me.
Yeah.
Let's get some waltzing Lumas while they're performing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we could have little wands and stuff like she has, and they could glow colors. There's an easy concert out there, Nintendo, you sons of a bitches.
And you can sell Luma plushies and maybe even make them glow, and then we could have
Look, we talked about a
call
Mario
me.
Kart ride, so this is not be the first time Nintendo stole an idea from our podcast.
Of course.
So steal this one too. I'm fine with
Yeah.
it. I don't even need residuals.
Just do it, Nintendo.
Number 9 is a me and Shaun joint.
Yes!
And I'm really happy that Shaun voted for it. My vote, because this is my number 2, would have had it on the list regardless, But to see somebody else have it, I was pleased because I was going to be really disappointed in the three of you if none of you voted for it.
But he still is disappointed in the three of you, just not me.
That's right. I'm very happy with you. You're my just.
Yes. Oh, geez.
I see. This is how Nick avoids getting the fingers pointed at him.
Well,
That's true.
but he's disappointed in Nick for all of them, so that
That's
hasn't
right.
changed now.
Didn't align with me on anything. But no, I think the difference here is I think this is actually one Doug might have voted for, but because he only took one from each game, there was no room. So we'll see if he agrees with that.
Mhm.
For me, this was almost number one. I was back and forth on the top two for a long time and finally settled on this. But my number 2 and our number 9... Oh, I forgot I have to click twice. I put that in there so I wouldn't spoil it. For when we did the individual videos, it was a whole thing. I don't need that anymore, so I fucked up. Doesn't matter. Number 9.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah.
I think this song is basically 2 songs. It's cut in half right down the middle. It has this whole transition into a completely different thing. But man, the scene setting is great. You ride up on Yoshi to this castle. He's not allowed inside, so you hop off of him and you walk in, and then you have to figure out what the fuck is going on as you climb around on chain link fences and punch the fuck out of Koopa Troopas through it. There's lava everywhere. It's like, I love the scene setting for the castles. I think they're some of the most fun levels. You get the boss fights against the Koopa kids who have gotten obnoxious over the years, but that's a different soapbox. But man, you talk about like, we've had all these happy, fun, good time songs so far, and then you get this shit, which, by the way, sounds even more impressive on church organ.
Yeah.
Because it's very foreboding and sinister, and there's this undercurrent of tension that is unlike a lot of other Mario songs.
And then this starts.
Yeah, with this
Up and down the chord or whatever. Yeah, the scales, yeah. It's so good and so interesting.
and the bass going,
creepy. And I like how the song builds. At one point you have, like, early in the song it goes like, bum, bum, and then later it's, bum, bum. It's more dramatic and more crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what this is called, but as simple as this, like, that plays through most of the song in the background. Muse has a song that does that, and I love it too. It's
I love this part.
yeah, it's so good.
This little high pitched.
Yeah.
And this is so impressive for like a MIDI sound font.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a full orchestra doing this. It's just these little itty bitty, like, but they could do all this. It's so cool.
This may be the oldest song on my playlist, and what I mean by that is not the song from longest ago, but the one I've had on there for the most time.
Yeah.
Like, Seymour Battle's been on there forever, but that's 2001. This game came out in the mid-90s, and it's been a staple ever since.
I also think it was composed really well in the sense of you get the foreboding, you get the drama, like we said, but there's like a little bit of like hopeful elements kind of in the middle. Like, you can overcome these odds. I just think it was perfectly designed for these levels that you find the song in.
This was one of those songs like Ryu's theme in Street Fighter 2 that I would put on in the background and just leave it at that point in the game while I was doing like homework for school or something. Because, I didn't have soundtracks when I was 12. But like, the fact that it has endured for this long, it was almost my number 1, and I just couldn't do it because there's one song I think is better. But goddamn, I love this fucking song.
It's great.
Wait, let me get this straight. You would go to a level in Super Mario World, just let the song play, and then every 6 minutes you'd have to start it all over again because you lost your life?
Because I would die, and then I'd game over, and it would be really awkward. So it didn't really last for more than like 20, 30 minutes before I got tired of doing that, but it was the best I had at the time because, the era of me getting video game music really only started with Napster. That's when I got the Chrono Trigger soundtrack, among other things. So before that, 3-4 years before that, didn't really have an option. At least in Street Fighter 2, you could go into the menu, and there's a place you could play the music, so I didn't have to worry about, like, fighting sound effects. This doesn't have, like, a music box thing, so it was just go to the world, sit there on the fence, chill out till I die.
Yeah, well, and I had a similar thing. I'll still do it now if I'm going through a boss too fast. I play on easy, so I'm not saying I'm so good. I'm just, but even here, like, you get through the level, and the 2 big doors, like, you're about to do the boss. It's like, I'm gonna wait a second. I have plenty of time. There's a good part in the song. I'm just gonna kind of listen a little bit. It's great.
Always a good sign.
Yep.
So, but real quick, who are we being kind to by leaving Yoshi outside I mean, are we just worried he's gonna like trudge a whole bunch of mud inside? We're gonna go kill this kid anyway.
Yeah, but we don't want to put Yoshi in danger because we care clearly
No.
so much about the health and safety of Yoshi. We would never do anything.
There's one specific spot where you're supposed to kill Yoshi to get to a secret level.
Yep.
Yeah, but I like to think Yoshi just grabs onto the ledge below, you know? With his tongue, he grapples.
I'm imagining it's the fences, honestly. Now, how does Mario know that the first time he goes in? I don't know. I can't explain it. But, like, since he has to climb across the fences, Yoshi can't make those jumps, and it's lava. So I think it's supposed to be kindness, but then you jettison him into a pit. So
Yeah. Are we 100% convinced that Yoshi and Mario are not telepathic to each other?
I mean, look at the face he has on the box art.
I mean, that
Yeah,
looks
look at that.
telepathic. Yeah.
Hey, bro.
What's up, man?
You're not going to kill me, right? Yeah, we're good? Okay. We're going to kill him. Spoiler.
Let's go! Shut up!
I don't remember my car talking this much. Hey, the next three are all voted on by all four of us.
Nice.
Hey.
So we're going into an era of wonderful overlap and no fighting between each other whatsoever, I would think.
Hooray.
Okay.
So let's start with
I think there should be still some fighting.
Okay,
might
we'll
be still
see.
some
We'll
fighting.
Find a
generate
way.
some combat.
what's interesting about this is, well, I guess the middle of these three does have one really high vote, but most of these are all sort of around the same range of like high 10s, you know, like 11 to 15-ish for all of us, so they accrued a lot of points that way. And you know what we haven't had any songs from yet? Super Mario Odyssey. So why don't we fix that?
Oh, this is great.
I mean, of course.
Heck yeah.
I have only one beef with this song because it's really fucking good, and I was taken aback when I got to this level the first time. It just doesn't make any fucking sense in the dinosaur world.
No, of course not.
It doesn't make sense.
It's a surf world.
This is a beach world, a
Yeah.
surf
Yeah.
world. And the song that's on the water surf world is a good song for that level. It's not like that one's out of place. This is such a bring a jukebox to the beach and have a party like Scooby-Doo dancing from the 1960s song that I'm like, why is it on the dinosaur level?
Yeah.
It's my only
Yep.
beef.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucking catchy.
Yeah, there's a couple songs. This is a story. It won't mean anything to anyone, but they'll play it at trapeze, and they kind of have this like beach sound. And I'm like, is this Steam Gardens? And it's not, because of course it's not. But I want it to be because I love this song. And then you get this like second sort of act where it does something like different, and like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a song I listen to for hours, like in the background.
This song is great. And it's another example where it's the first world that you jump in and you get this awesome song. Does it really make sense with the setting? Not really, but it's a banger, so I don't know if I care that much.
This is
great.
the first world. This is later.
It's like the second or third world.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the first. Well,
early
The
in
first
game.
world,
It's
the first
early.
world does have a dinosaur in it, but this is the one that has the dinosaur roaming around that whole underground area.
right. See, I remember this as my first world. I don't know
Well,
why.
that means something. The
means
song
it
is so
stuck out.
good, you
Yes.
thought, oh, there's nothing that exists in Odyssey before this.
This is it. This is the starting point.
It's so good. It's
Even
such
the
a
music
jam.
doesn't kick in until you like get to the main building area, correct? It's like you're in the just traveling this forest, it's all moody or whatever, and then once you get to like the checkpoint, it's like, oh, music kicks in.
Yeah.
I think you're right, because I think the very first area you touch down in with the ship, it's quiet, and it's just that kind of tree, like wooded area, but then you get through that first cave, and then it hits, and then it makes that lasting impression ever since.
It's kind of like driving, sort of soulful guitar.
Yeah.
I love it. I
It's a
just
vibe.
I love it so much.
hmm
And I love, we don't have one coming up recently, I don't think, because it's not here. No. But you get that, it's kind of like, sounds like directly out of Wipeout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming up here in a second. That's why I'm vamping to get to the end here, but it's still there's another 4 measures before it, so it's
I
tough.
just love it. So good. Jazzy. I love it.
Like
The
they
drum
didn't have
beat's
to go
catchy.
this hard, but they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. It's coming. Right here.
3, 4.
Yeah. That's all beach.
That's all beach.
Yep. So, I mean, terrible level to put it in. Other than that, great. 10 out of 10. Hey, we took so long getting into Super Mario Odyssey. What do you say we stay with Super Mario Odyssey?
I would like to not do that.
Right there.
All right, I will quickly on the side type a new thing. Okay, great. And fuck, I stayed in Super Mario Odyssey. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like. It was jarring for me initially because I can't think of another time we've had lyrics in a Mario game. I'm probably missing some weird, obscure example, but when there's actual singing, I didn't like it, and then I really liked it. Okay,
Yeah.
this is good. And if you look online, this is fucking iconic.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of some fake singing in Yoshi's Island. There's a couple other songs on the soundtrack that have it, including the one where you're like running away after the Bowser fight. But it's a chance for Pauline to do something.
But she's the mayor already.
Well,
It's been a while. A hot minute.
Yeah, I mean, really for me, this is all fine. It's good. The chorus, I think, is like kind of exceptional.
The chorus
and
is
that's
great.
for me what really sells me on it.
I also think it's catchy to have the jump in the coin sounds. But here's our chorus,
Yeah,
and this is the most known part.
and it plays at a pretty cool part in the game. You're doing a lot of. I want to say there's fireworks. I might be making that up. Maybe that's just the music imprinting that. But there's a lot going on in this new Dawn City.
Yeah.
Which is the level I actually didn't love, but like this makes up for it so much.
Yeah.
The whole level is weird, actually. I talked about being jarring, like Mario in just like a real life city with people.
With
as taxis
people?
is also
Yeah.
very weird.
Yeah.
And taking
this-
them over, by the way, which is the forbidden thing. You should not be throwing your cap on people and taking over their mind. But not going to talk about that. It's all fun when it's like a remote controlled car in the city.
Yeah.
And then you do it to a person, and you're like,
I don't know about that.
moral quandaries have been introduced here. Yeah, I mean, this is nice because when the version that actually has the lyrics and stuff hits, it's when you're celebrating getting all like the big stars here, and
Yeah.
you've helped the power, and you get to spend most of it in 2D. So this is kind of cool, like pseudo celebration of old Mario and new. So you go through a lot of the 2D levels as this is happening, and then it's just I don't know. It's like such a happy-go-lucky song.
And I like that the lyrics, they could have been anything, but they were very steeped in like Mario terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And if we ever did do a concert, this is obviously one where they'd invite the singer or somebody who's
Yeah.
and they play it, and
It'd be
everybody has
great.
a good time, and they give us a bunch of money for having the idea. It's great.
Royalties, baby.
I said I didn't want residuals or royalties. I do. I lied.
Yeah, we
Choose-
would actually love that, please.
One residual, please.
Yes.
So this was Doug's number 3,
Yes.
but we all had a decent vote as well.
That's too high.
I did also have Steam Gardens on my list at 15, but this one is my number 3, and it was on there primarily because it really once it was released online, people were like jamming to this for like months and months until the game's released, and months afterwards. It's like it's the standout song from the entire thing.
It is. Yeah. I told you it's too high. I was just trying to. You asked me to bring in combat, and I don't actually think it's too high. I think it's great.
I tried, but I wasn't committed.
Yeah.
All right. No more Odyssey. It's done forever.
Okay. Well.
But we had some great
Bye.
representation from it.
Our number 6 feels inevitable, and I like where it ended up because I don't think it's one of my 5 favorite songs. But you can't make a Mario music list without including this in some capacity. I put in Doug's version.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this was such a surprise when I was playing Sunshine.
I also wanted to have a Sunshine song in here because there isn't a Sunshine song on the list, spoiler alert, other than some other stuff that appears in other games, like this. But it's
Michaela
also
and I tried, but
it's
did we
also
really?
it's a more interesting,
Not hard enough,
catchy
evidently.
version. You didn't try that hard. You
No,
both
we
had it
didn't.
in your bottom
No.
5. And that was also one of my second cuts was Delfino Plaza. But so anyways, World 1-1, if you had to pick a song that anybody who doesn't know music from video games, it's this one. It's not The Legend of Zelda Overworld. It's 1-1 from Mario 1. That's the song everybody knows. So like, it needed to be on the list. We all voted for it decently high. It didn't have any one standout vote. It was all sort of like borderline top 10 for all of us, and here it is.
Yeah, because you have to.
You have to.
Again, we don't have this in our cars to listen to for fun, but it is so catchy. It's so iconic. Kind of what we were talking about with the jump sounds and the coin sounds. It's like that first level music. It's
Yep.
it's just right. especially given the very limited sounds they had to play with back here. It is really impressive.
Hummable. You can hum along.
Clearly.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
Go for it, Doug.
Oh, I was gonna say this. Although this is on my list, World 1, this is not my Super Mario Bros. Theme that I put in here.
Oh,
This
so you
was
tricked
just
the
the-
list.
I did trick.
Combat.
I played the list.
Oh no! Oh no! Let's skip to the next song.
Oh
I
God.
fixed it. It was
No
a
one
spoiler.
noticed.
Spoiler for number 5. Spoiler. Anyway, yeah. I mean, again, is it the best song? No. But I think Shaun and I in particular really give weight to the status of something like this, or just in voting for the original game in the best games list. Like, does it hold up the best of all the Mario games? Hell no. Holds up really well for a game from 40 years ago, which, by the way,
Yeah, that's insane.
No.
yeah, but none of us are super comfortable with that number. We thought the Michaela one made us uncomfortable. Think about that. We're about to hit the 40th anniversary of Mario 1 on the NES, so
Yeah.
yikes.
that's a
But the
big
point is,
one.
this music has endured. It's shown up in several different capacities. There's versions of it in the 2 Galaxy games. We had the one from Sunshine here. It's everywhere, and I'm really happy, like I said at the start, with where it settled. Just outside the top 5, because I think there's better music, but this is good enough. It needed to be high up.